Hi there everyone, it's Mystical Aviator. It's a Monday, so we're off to the MilkRun Monday. Sydney to Melbourne. I think the last week we did a 777 from Melbourne to Sydney, so we're returning back to the 737 at the Virgin Australia colours. I've time shifted by 12 hours. Current real time is about 7:30 at night. It'll be dark, but I've decided to make it 7:30 in the morning so we can see some more stuff out the window while we fly. Going to request boarding. I'll see, I haven't actually moved. I updated the thingy, that's right. So all of my updates to the positions of the stairs and stuff have all gone awry. I might actually do one of these because I can. I'll reset the position and we're going to go into add-on and open up, what is it? Total powered products. Going to open up customize airport positions, customize vehicle locations, and then you use the slew to move these guys around. So the first thing I'll do was put this guy outside of the red area. Those two guys probably can stay where they are roughly, but I think I'll move them up kind of a bit closer to this edge, and the reason for that would be so that they don't foul the conveyor belts. Now this conveyor belt can go a little bit closer to the wall, just like that. This conveyor belt has to come away from the wing so that when we push back it doesn't get run over. Now the annoying thing is that they put these things right where they are. Look at where those stairs are over there, the DNTA or Donata stairs. This one. The wing, it's literally trying to run through the wing. Look, there's the wingtip. That's where it'll be when we push back, and the wingtip has to go straight through the stairs. Stupid idea. I wish they actually put them forward by default, because the problem is I'm not sure if anyone knows how to do this quicker, but I literally have to go through all of Sydney Airport at every gate and do this, and as you can see this has already taken 2 minutes. And how many gates are there in Sydney? Yeah, well there's about 50 on the domestic side and about another 50 on the other side, so there's a good 100 there, and that doesn't even include the freight. Anyway, we're going to save that and apply it. I'm quite happy with that, so let's request boarding now. As you can see, these all guys will drive up and make their way to the doors. They've already got the cargo door open and they're reminding me to open the front door. I'll have to do it again because the front door's moved. More to the point, they moved the aircraft forward. I need to be there for the front door, for the jetway. So I'll just double check that's roughly where I need it. Yeah, that looks fine. Might just press Ctrl J twice. Yep, it's quite happy there. I'm not sure I'm happy where it is there. I'll get the gate away again. Where's my wheel? Yeah, it's about right on the center line. So let's bring the gate back up. It'll get the door right this time. And third time lucky, requesting boarding. Now I've, as I said, updated Sydney Airport with this photographic underlay, and I had to, well there's more than one AFCAD there, so obviously that's reset GSX. Let's get a seating position. Go. Push that out of the way and let's get the IRS started. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's come down here to FS Actions payload, and I need to have a look at PFPX and see what we're doing with our passenger load. We have 121 today, so we're not particularly full. Quite a lot of empty seats there. Got 1331 at the front. So that's at the back. And at the front we have 1957. And we go into the fuel. And today our release fuel is 5496. And we'll give it 98. So APU is running. Drop the engine page down in there. Set the RS position off the GPS. And also set Sydney. City from going down to Melbourne, and we're our favourite call sign today, Velocity 888, 888. Now we're heading down to Sydney, and then Airway 865. Joining Q29. That should put Razzie there, and then we chuck in Melbourne at the end. Activate. Performance initialization, we have 54.3 tonne. Our reserves are, let's see, with 1.7. That's our final reserve plus alternate, and the alternate will be Avalon. See what our weather's doing down there. Cav okay, but there is a lot of wind, gusting up to 37 knots with a 10 knot difference. Avalon's a bit quieter. Cost index as usual, 30. And flight level, we've got us planned as 380, not 400, but I might actually take that. We're going westbound. Just going to open the front door. Yes, let's get our passengers on. And the back door too, might as well. It's nice weather out here. I've obviously got Facebook on and there's lots of dings happening. Yoli, yoli, yoli. Cool. And what do we have? Oh yeah, that's right, I was going to update the flight level. So I'm going to find the flight plan form, just make that 400. That's updated, let's log back in. Yep, 40,000 feet. So I'll use that, 400. Alright, let's look at ATIS 126.5. 6.25, sorry.
Sydney, terminal information, Charlie, runway 16 left and 16 right, 4, arrival and departure. Wind, car, cab okay, temperature 19, QNH 1019, on first contact with Sydney, ground or approach, notify receipt of Charlie, Sydney, terminal information, Charlie, runway 16 left and 16 right, 4, arrivals and departure. Wind, car, cab okay, temperature 19, QNH 1019, on first contact with Sydney, ground or approach, notify receipt of Charlie, Sydney, terminal information, Charlie, runway 16 left and 16 right, 4, arrivals and departures. Wind, car, cab okay, temperature 19, QNH 1019, on first contact with Sydney, ground or approach, notify receipt of Charlie, Sydney, terminal information, Charlie, runway 16.
Cool, we have information Charlie, I'm just going to double check my the fonts there. Weather's back into online mode. I'll let that catch up. 1019 will be the QNH. That's set. 16 left and right. And wind calm, cav okay. Can't argue with that. Look at that. Yeah, the cloud over there in the west, but that's alright. It's good to have our doors and stairs working properly. I have to spend a couple of my days off redoing all of those. All the ones that I use anyway. Yay. Cargo doors are done. Let's talk to clearance 120.5. Sydney Tower velocity 888, requesting clearance to Melbourne.
For the ATIS for the Melbourne via Plane route, initial 5000, happy to departure, runway 16 left, is 4471, departure with the approach 124.
Which departure did he say? The Abbey 2. Cool. YSSY 888 cleared to Melbourne via Wollongong. Abbey 2 departure, initial climb 5000, runway 16 left. Swap code 4474, departures 124.4, YSSY 888.
YSSY 888.
4474 set. 5000 set. Deboarding, reboarding has been completed. Let's have a look at these things. Arrival departure page. I thought I closed Facebook. Apart from one. Okay. Abbey 2 right up the top there. 16 left. Executed. And just get rid of this discontinuity. Rest of that's con.
Sydney Tower, this is Qantas 1078 today, request clearance to Los Angeles.
Qantas 107 Alpha, with Los Angeles.
Good to close the doors. Let's see. Let's talk the departure. We have a shortest runway on the field. It's 2,500 metres, 2,490 actually. After takeoff we'll be climbing to 500 feet where we will be turning to 100. Checking the 128 degree outbound radial. I'll just turn off ATC for a bit.
16 right.
Cool, we can talk now. So after departure 500 feet we turn 100 degrees, then capture the 128 degree radial out to Kevin, climb to 6,000 feet before turning direct to Julia. After there it's direct Abbey and then Wollongong. Runway itself was 2,438 metres long, 45 metres wide. Brake RTO is set. Be derating a little. Weather is dry. Current temperature is 19 degrees. We'll be derating to 25. That'll give us a N1 of 97.7. Takeoff will be flaps 5. Center of gravity trim is 16.3. We have a V1 of 131 knots and say again, a V1 of 129 knots. Only 2 knots difference to the V1, and then we'll be airborne. Climb out safety speed is 143. And that is set. Okay, it's KVK, winds are calm. So any issues that we have, we can of course decide to return to field. if required. Probably be making a left-hand turn to get back on the left-hand circuit visual. Assuming everything goes correctly, we'll be on the LNAV VNAV, which we can arm already. And I'll leave that auto throttler disarmed because we don't have the engines running. Any questions? Assuming that I can't hear anything, we'll get the clearance and pushback, and we'll complete the checklist. I'm just going to run firstly our config. That's good, and that's also good. Back to 120.5, we have the information Charlie. Sydney Tower, velocity 888, requesting pushback. We have Charlie, and on domestic 2.
Velocity 888, push through.
Push through, velocity 888. We've been cleared for push. Pushback and departure. We are... That's another thing that I set up already. Nose is going right. The ground crew, we are also ready for push. We have permission to push already, facing right. Time is 4:0. Now let's get the fuel pumps on. Seatbelt signs are on. Okay, clock is running. Parking brake released. Cover that, we're cleared for the start. Packs are off. Anti-collar's on. And cleared for start number 2. Number 2 ground start. Start valve is open. N2 is rising. N2's out of 20. Idle.
Go to Essendon on requesting a last clearance to Melbourne.
Start the switch is cut off. We'll go engine number 1.
Go to Essendon on
Engine 1 set to the ground.
To Melbourne. We'll get to 79 for the Melbourne flight on route. Initial 5000.
N2 rising.
After runway 16 left. Squawk is 4473.
Enter out of 20%, engine 1 idle.
2 Melbourne by preference, maintain 5092, departure runway 16 left. Squawk 4473, departure 124.4, go code 279. Okay, 279.
Parking brake set. Engine number 1 starter cutout. EGT still rising and stable. Right, flaps 5 and rest of the before takeoff check to the line. Recall. Still got something on recall. What is that? Hydraulics. Go with the bypass spin. We'll see you on the left-hand side for the wave off.
Just 279 requesting.
Okay, let's put the generators on.
For departure. Leaving on transition on runway 16.
And packs are on with the engine bleeds.
Generator
1 set.
79, no problem. 32. 44.
Copy, left and right clear, thank you.
Departure, we'll look on transition, runway 16.
And ground, you're clear to disconnect.
Pretty clear to Melbourne, that's by the den for.
Righty.
On transition.
Recall.
Right.
Checked, clear of items. Flight controls. Left hand's good. That's fine. Rudder is good. Flight controls checked. Flap set 5 with a green light.
Instead of 354, the wind is now...
Required unit is 5.7.
Denmark is yellow shot.
And it's just about there.
There
we go, 5.7 set. Takeoff briefing has been completed and just waiting on cabin.
3.511. The wind is now wind calm. To the land, runway 16 left.
Ready for taxi.
That is 354 to wind calm. With takeoff, runway 16 left. Having parking for an airborne is good luck.
Roger, vehicle for departure on runway 16 right. Contact departure on Sydney Bridge, number 354.
24.4 is our first airborne.
And tower, copy of the weather, Qantas 511.
That is set.
Continuing on visual 16 left.
Sydney Tower velocity 888 out of domestic 2 with Charlie ready for taxi.
Confirm that is velocity 888.
Velocity 888, confirm.
Velocity 888, XB via Charlie, who's short with you there.
Right, Charlie, Bravo 10, hold short of 07, copy that, velocity 888. Cabin cleared just to 07 threshold, we'll call it. And we're on the move. On the auto throttle. And that's cabin. Cabin is secure. And next is below the line.
Confirm squawk mode Charlie.
Tower, good day, United, E43, base distance 0, requesting vehicle at this time.
United 842, Blue Melbourne 5 along the plan route, initial 5000, Singapore departure along the transition, runway 15. 4501, departure was the approach 134.4, press brake, velocity 888, cross runway 07, continue on Charlie, to the Bravo 10 on the hard runway 16 left.
Crossing 07, continuing Charlie Bravo 10 to 16 left, holding point, velocity 888.
United 843, we cleared Melbourne via Wollongong flight plan route 5000, runway 16 right, steaming forward departure, Wollongong transition, code 4501, departure 124.4, United 843.
843.
Sydney Tower, Delta 364, we're going to approach.
Then 354. I'm texting a Vref 24 to number 4, Preflight.
Roger, that happens. Good evening. We're going to Sydney approach.
And Tower Corner 511, we're clear of 16 left on Tango.
Corner 511. Taxi via Lima, Bravo, full short runway 06.
Lima Bravo, hold short, runway 07, corner 511.
Good evening, Go Cat. Just received Takeoff Clearance to build an handfile.
Okay, 267, stand by, you're the most of
7.
Don't get this on a pristine restart.
Okay, TW9, push through.
Push through.
Get T67, clearance ready.
Go get 67 ready.
Get T67, clear the Melbourne fire. We'll go flying Vref, reach 5000, heading to departure, runway 16 left. Walk 4513, departure with the approach 124.4.
Go Sydney and Melbourne handful. 5000 and pursue the departure for 4153 and for departure to ATIS departure and for 412.
Go get to 67, the squawk code would be 4513.
4513.
Go get to 67, we're back correct.
Tower United S43, Bay 51 International, ready to push back.
Invest 843.
Thank you.
Okay then, so we'll start squawking. Checklist flight line. Start switches to continuous. MCP set for departure. Transponder T8RA, and the rest is all landing lights.
1017. Clear the Melbourne fire. We're on the plane route, finish 5000, for departure, we're on the transition. Runway 1 right. 4477. Departure with the approach 1244.
80% zoom.
Clear to Melbourne via Bullrun with runway 1 strike, port 40778, departure to Melbourne Vref 22. Sydney Vref 24, they're getting the departure for Canada 1017.
1017, the departure of the Dina for departure, Wollongong transition, runway 16 right, the squawk will be 4477.
04, Wollongong transition, 16 right, and 4477, Temper Togo 1017, go on, switch over ground.
Yes. Flight 1017, for the ground 121.7.
Sydney Coast, Qantas 107 Alpha, and we Pushback Start.
107 Alpha, contact the ground now on 12707.
Tower will go to ground on 121.7, Qantas 107 Alpha.
Sydney Tower, velocity 888, fully ready, 16 left.
Velocity 888, the wind is now 170 at 1 knot. For takeoff, runway 16 left. Kind of departure for an airborne.
Departures for an airborne, runway 16 left, clear for takeoff, velocity 888. Lights are on. Straps are on. Clocks are on. Being cleared for takeoff. Runway heading is 155. The full takeoff checklist is complete. Engine thrust stable, take it. Takeoff thrust set. $100 knots.
V1. Rotate. V2.
Positive rate, gear up. Can contact departures. 124.4 set. Climb thrust set. Sydney departures, velocity 888, climbing 5,000 out of 2,500.
Velocity 888. Any departures identified on flight level 280.
Climb flight level 280, velocity 888. Flight level 280 is set. Flaps 1. Flaps up. Still hand flying the outlets and go after takeoff checks, air condition and pressurization. I have +3 PSI and pressurization is auto. Packs are auto. Start switches are off. Landing gear up and off. Auto brake is off. Flaps are up, no lights. And waiting on turbulence. Pilot Pod in command. Go through transition. Standard QNH set and 1013 on the standby. That is all complete. We're coming up to 11,000 feet. On the mark. 3, 2, 1, mark. And that closes the after takeoff checks. Just wait for the turn and then we'll take the seatbelt signs off. Logo light can go off now. Next frequency is going to be Melbourne Centre 1250. Seatbelt signs coming off and set to automatic. Let's bring our heading around. Going to be talking to Melbourne Centre after passing through about 22,000.
Sydney approach, go ahead, 279 with you on climb for 5,000 through 1,400.
Okay, Cat 279 identified, climb flight level 280.
Flight level 280, go ahead, 279.
Arby, Wollongong is next, and we're coming up on a frequency change soon.
Ross, the V880, okay, Melbourne Centre, 125.0.
Over the Melbourne Centre, 125.0, velocity 888. I know these sectors like the back of my hand.
Navigation, tracking common flight plan route.
Resume navigation, direct column and flight plan for flight channel.
Melbourne Centre, velocity 888, climbing flight level 280 out of flight level 236.
What's the triple 8 Melbourne G'day time to flight level 400?
Climb flight level 400, velocity 888. Level 400 is set.
Airbus 319. Airbus 319.
Alright, just going to go through the systems. I might as well truck 888 right there. It's the easiest call sign in the world to remember. It's all 8s. Cool. Next one is descent checklist. Descend altitude we'll need, which will be 450.
Oh yeah, it goes up to 23 knots.
Melbourne Centre Golf Run at 516-290 requesting lower.
Looking at the METAR, I reckon I'll be using runway 34. Got wind 26, gusting 36.
Leaving
Vatpac.
210-51.
From 0937 there'll be moderate to severe turbulence below 5,000. There'll be a bit of a rip-roaring bucking bronco ride into runway 34 today. With any luck. Here I am wishing for some discomfort for the passengers. Yeah. Speaking of passengers, it's probably a nice thing to go and talk to them. So we'll just take a look at some things. 16 degrees in Melbourne. There's a forecast that I can look at as well. Melbourne weather forecast. Low overnight of 11.
Charlie, request lower. McLean Charlie, when ready again, flight level 220.
And rain forecast tomorrow. Is it rain or just?
I'm ready, flight level 220.
80% chance of rain. So that's to look forward to. And let's look at our arrival time. It'll be on the hour, pretty much. So that's what, 9 o'clock in the morning. Right on the dot, probably. Maybe a tiny bit later than that to the gate, 9:05. It'll be early anyway. It'll be before 9:15. So it'll be 10 past.
Confirming you're tracking by your flight plan route, that is next waypoint, yeah?
Affirm, yes, then no go. We're 325.
Righty. Let's go and make a...
325. Doing you about 5 miles to the right of track at present. If you just want to check your navigation for me, please.
Fun, yeah.
732, we'll go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking from the flight deck on velocity of Virgin Flight 888 from Sydney to Melbourne. We've left the gates a little bit early today, about 5 minutes before time, and as such we're expected to arrive a little early at the gate in Melbourne. Probably getting to the gates at about 10 past 9. We're currently climbing through 30,000 feet for a final cruise altitude of 40,000 feet. That final cruise altitude is approximately 12,100 metres high. We'll be cruising along at 78% the speed of sound, which is about 400 to 500 knots, roughly 800 to 900 kilometres an hour. Looking at the weather at Melbourne today, we currently have a temperature of 16 degrees. That's likely to reduce to about 11 degrees overnight, with some forecast rain for Tuesday. And a top temperature of 19 on Tuesday. Currently the weather is a little bit windy, so jackets are probably advisable at this stage. There's no cloud or rain around at the moment, but there is a change overnight and some showers in the morning. Hope you've enjoyed your flight so far. I wish you a pleasant onward journey and stay in Melbourne.
From
the flight deck and cabin crew, thanks for flying with Virgin Australia.
Just 279 Melbourne, sending it a flight level 360.
follow 360, go next to 31.
What's the triple eight report current marking or planned mark cruise speed?
Landmark. Aussie 8, yeah, landmark speed 0.787.
That's 279 for sequencing in the cruise, mark decimal 7 and 9, please.
Mark decimal 7 9 in the cruise, so that's 39.
Surely the Airbus isn't going to flight level 400. Surely. I've never seen an Airbus A320 do 400.
7325. Turn right now heading 010, please.
010,
360 though, do we?
7325, just vectoring you away from the other trackers there, and I'll vector you back across to Bindle for the Odell arrival.
Yeah, confirming 010 for the side track 7.25.
Cool. Looking at the aircraft airborne between Melbourne and Sydney at the moment, we have 8 on the ground in Melbourne. We have 5 on the ground in Sydney. And airborne already, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 of us in the air already. 13 plus 8 plus 5. Not a bad show. This is of course the long weekend, Monday after Easter Sunday. So happy Easter to all. I'm not sure if this video will be going up in that time frame, but certainly sometime in the week. So we're probably looking at this on Friday, I'd imagine. Friday or Saturday.
124, additional 4, 1123, thanks for catching next time.
But current flights occurring on Monday after Easter Sunday.
Captain 831, leaving flight level 370 on descent.
Captain 831, no Melbourne Center.
Melbourne Center, Delta 364, waiting for you.
It's like I'm close to the first in the pack out of Sydney. In fact, I might be the very first out of Sydney. At least the one that first out of Sydney going to Melbourne.
Delta 354 on
I actually saw a looked like a Delta Airways aircraft leave Sydney just before I left. I'm not sure who that was or where they're going, but I don't see them in front of us.
Right now we're talking for Delta 3-4.
Cafe 139, contact Sydney approach now. 124.4, get it.
124.4, Galaxy 139, thanks very much, good ATC.
Flight Level Charlie descent to 10,000, Sydney 2181020.
Descent 10,000 and 2181020, my goodness.
Not far from the top of climb.
United 843 in the cruise, maintain mark decimal
1,000 foot to go.
75, please, for 60.
In the cruise 175 and mark.
It is 1 to the 87 with you at flight level 390. The 887 at Melbourne Centre, g'day.
Pretty close.
You'll clear to
Not
Sydney
quite.
by the River 9 arrival. Vectors for the O Express runway 16 right, maintain flight level 390.
River 9, vectors for 160 right, or to the 887 and
Right.
390.
Since we can't do a live stream in high definition, and live streams usually come out with comments, I've decided I might actually just read out some comments that I've gotten over the last day or two. So I have somebody, who's it? Hordenho 571.
Sydney approach now 124.
They ask, awesome video, how does my AI have their strobe blinking? They're using Squawkbox and they don't think it has that feature. Sound correct to me. I use FSinn, and FSinn just uses AI models or whatever, and if those AI models have the ability to flash their strobe lights, FSinn will make them flash the strobe lights anytime that they are moving, up to about 5 minutes after they've finished moving. So they'll have strobe lights on from the moment that they push back, pretty much as they taxi, unless they stop for more than 5 minutes.
831.
And of course any time they're flying.
Right turn now heading 103.
Right turn heading 110, company 31.
They're starting to vector people around the place. Right, there's someone, was it Comedy 3610? I have replied to them in text already, but they've asked on the Cross the Pond video that what motivated me to fly that particular flight, the Cross the Pond. Well, that's quite obvious, isn't it? It's Cross the Pond. It's probably the second biggest fly-in on Vatsim any given year. Sometimes the biggest. That and World Flight. I love them both, World Flight and Cross the Pond.
354, confirming you are still tracking for Melbourne.
Also, you get to do different procedures, oceanic stuff with your position reports, procedural non-radar stuff. And you really get to use all of the stuff that you have in the aircraft. Speaking of which, before we continue, it's probably a good idea that I put in some wind predictions.
Sorry, we have a slight issue on board.
Next page, route data, we've got Tanta and Rummy before we start descending. We're at flight level 400, Tanta is 280 at 55.
Delta 354, resume own navigation, tracking Tanta, flight plan route.
280 55 set. Next one after that is Rummy at flight level 400, we have 281 at 56. 1 degree and 1 knot change. We'll then go into the descent forecast.
Chicago 1017, heavy Melbourne, Centre, g'day, climb to flight level 340.
It's got it by a bit of turbulence there. Okay, descent forecast, we'll plan 370, 300 and 220. We might spread that a bit. We'll do 370, 220 and 150. Okay, the first one there is 28. So again, 293 at 55.
The 831. Resume own navigation, tracking
Next one down,
River
220.
River 9 arrival.
Actually, the first one was 289. 289 at 289 at 64. And then after that was 290 at 45. This is all coming from PFPX, so I don't have to look it up or anything. 150 is 288 at 42. That's all entered. Let's see.
Okay, 31, requesting further descent.
31, my apologies, to 10,000, 1020.
No NDRs needed, it's all cover okay.
10,1020, come 31.
let's have a look at getting ATIS for Melbourne.
By Lima Charlie, what's next to the approach?
1327.
Approach 124.4, today, Mike on the Charlie.
Just going to hold off for the moment. Tanta, we'll get a frequency change at Tanta, that's 45 miles, we'll probably be okay. Let's grab this. Oh yeah, that's alright. It's a 777 that has that radio. 73 has radio 2.
Melbourne, 7325, we're approaching top of the hill.
Okay, moving that in.
Rest of me 3, 25.
Altitude 36. Visibility, Canada K. Temperature 1014. First contact with Melbourne ground or approach. Notify a bit of Melbourne terminal information to deck. Visual approach in use for runway 34 for arrival and departure. 0 degrees, 125 knots. Altitude 36. Visibility, Cabo K. Temperature 16. QNH 1014. On first contact with Melbourne ground or approach, notify a bit of Melbourne terminal information to deck. Visual approach in use for runway 34 for
Velocity 888, Melbourne Centre.
That's a 888, go ahead.
Velocity 888, contact Melbourne Centre 125.2,
Over to Melbourne Centre 125.2, velocity 888. Handle us off slightly early.
354, contact Melbourne.
Go with 125.2. Melbourne Centre, velocity 888, flight level 400.
4888, Melbourne Centre, good evening, start.
Velocity 888, ready to copy.
Velocity 888, start clearance for Melbourne will be the UDD7 Victor arrival, runway 34.
There'll be Litty 7 Victor arrival, runway 34, velocity 888. Okay, Melbourne arrivals. We have runway 34. That one. We've got Lizzie 7 Victor. And I'll put in a 2.5 mile
Great,
flight.
answer 526.
Actually, I might make it 3.
Now 125.0, next start.
60 Melbourne Centre 125.0, good night.
Close that, discontinue. Lizzie to Maddie, Ipcon, Monty, Edgar, Sheed, get rid of the vector. And there we go.
Delta 354, start clearance available.
And we'll just step through that plan. So obviously Tanta is next.
Delta 354,
Rummy, Naba, and you can see the top of set just before Naba. Bulla, Tarex, Lizzie, Matty, Igpon, Monty, Egka, Sheed, which is overhead Essendon, and then straight in on that visual approach with the right hand turn. And that paints out quite well with that 3 mile extended satellite point.
Go ahead, 279, start clearance, Victor 7 Victor arrival, runway 34.
So 7 Victor arrival, that's the big massive turn.
The Victor arrival,
It's always
runway
quite fun.
34,
I'll pull up some charts
Delta
for Melbourne.
354, Melbourne Centre, did you copy that last transmission?
Close all the charts for Sydney. Probably need the apron and the aerodrome chart as well.
354, star clearance for Melbourne, you see Lizzie 7 Victor arrival, runway 34.
I'll stick in the Lizzie 7 Victor uniform. So 11, Lizzie 7 Victor, the visual approach. It's only the visual approach for this one. We have a couple of speed restrictions. I'll just double check that they're in. Ipcon at 230 knots, that is there, below 9,000 at Matey.
Velocity 868, Melbourne Centre, go ahead.
We'll see you.
Are we able to get our start clearance anytime soon, please?
7 point.
A68, roger that. I'm handing you over to the center now. Stand by. Expect start. Stand by.
There's your bet.
Let's see, we've got 3.3 tons right now.
What's the A68? Contact Melbourne Center now. 1240. Expect start.
It's 215 at arrival.
140, get a first and 8, yeah.
That's 2 less, that'll be 56.
United A43, Melbourne Center.
Point
Start clearance available.
8.
No, hit that 43.
And it'll be 131 with flat 40. We do have a bit of wind.
7 Victor arrival, runway 34.
138's a bit quick for me.
That would be 7 Victor for 34, and I'm just wondering if it's possible to get a speed increase.
Yeah, we'll use that. So it's 131, and
Roger,
we have to add
stand by.
half the gust, which is 5 knots.
Current max number.
So it'll be 10 knots above.
No,
We'll
that's
be
all,
inbound at 141
79.
knots with flat 40.
And United
Runway 2.
A43, say current max number.
Currently 0.72, but we're playing for 0.85.
Alrighty.
Roger, stand by.
Let's do the full brief. And also the gate selection will be Echo
Roger, United A43, increase max number.
Echo 6, I believe.
5.
Echo 6.
Just confirm 0.75 on that agreement.
United A43.75. Stop.
Okay, so we've been cleared for the visual approach, Lizzie 7, Victor. We'll be descending across all the restrictions. FMC has been programmed with all of those. For that effect will be LNAV and VMAV up until Sheed. I do expect to deploy flaps somewhere around Monty, and we'll get the gear down before Sheed. Be fully configured for landing at Sheed before the turn. At Sheed we need to be above 2,500 feet for separation with VFR traffic at Essendon. It is slightly above the 3-degree profile, so after Sheed we do need to start descending at about 900 to 1,000 feet per minute.
354 Melbourne Center, say current cruising max number.
After we depart Sheed we'll have
No,
a...
354, that is your current altitude. I need your current speed in max number. It should be 0 point, something with 0 point something.
Anyway, we're looking at, yeah, we'll have the magenta line to follow, and we'll try to follow that as closely as possible for a relatively square
Sorry,
approach.
velocity 888, say current cruising max number.
Velocity 888, current cruise Mach 0.79.
888. Right, Delta. Roger, standby Delta, 354.
Might actually bump that up 2.79, just ever so slightly below it. I know we've got traffic behind us. That's Airbus A320.
450 climbing through 13,400 feet.
Let's have a look at our descent speed. 73, I reckon we can bump that up a bit. Let's do 290 at 0.79.
Climbing to flight level 290 out. 450.
And that's selected.
Delta 354, Melbourne Center, did you copy my text transmission? Roger, thank you, Delta 354. Are you sure on that? That's rather low compared to what you are showing on my screen.
Here's that Delta DAL 354. Is that it? Yeah, 354.
Give me a second, please.
He's actually in front of us slightly. And he'll be cruising at 240. Might even be making contrail down there. Not sure I'd stick at 240. In some parts of the world that's outside of controlled airspace over the ocean. Heck, that's outside controlled airspace over places like Ayers Rock
Good evening, or
Streaky Bay, or other places that are in the middle of nowhere. Not here though. On the Sydney and Melbourne run, most of the airspace is E-class right down to 8,500
arrival for runway 34.
until you get to TMAs, and that becomes lower than that.
Arrival runway 34.
Anyway, we're way up here at flight level 400. Hopefully we'll get a descent soon. Right, let's just review what we've done for the descent. We're about 40 miles out, maybe 50. Now we've been assigned Lizzie 7 uniform, Victor, sorry, with the visual approach. We've inserted all of our speed restrictions and also the forecast. We've bumped up the descent speed to 290 on the descent, once leaving Mach 0.79. Runway 34, we've got auto brake 2. Vacating on hopefully Foxtrot. If not that, then Echo. We're aiming for Foxtrot, which means we need to come in pretty much on profile on the Pappy. If we end up high, we'll probably overshoot and end up on Echo. That's not a problem. Once we do vacate, we'll come in via Echo or Tango off a right hand turn, then turn southbound down Alpha. From Alpha we need to continue straight through the first uniform and take our way up onto the Gulf Pier Echo, which is taxiway Gulf. Once on Pier Echo, we are the third from the end of the cul-de-sac, assuming that that's free. We are a little bit early, so we might get reassigned a new gate if that gate is occupied. Double check our time.
Delta 364, don't worry about that, we'll just fix it up after.
Yeah, it's only about 3 minutes early. It's not too bad.
Okay, Roger. I'm sorry about that.
Alright, I'll be using flap 40. We have a bit of a gusty situation out there, so I'll be needing to land with 141 over the fence. That's 10 knots above the VREF, which is obviously 131. Our next frequency should be Melbourne approach, I do believe. We're on 132.0.
Just
information to back. Information to back, we have 1014. The 1014 is preset. That's Cabo K, so that should be fine for the visual. It's just that 10 knot gust. That's the problem.
125.0 clear. Velocity 888, when ready, descent flight level 210, report leaving.
When ready, down flight level 210 and Wilco, velocity 888. Level 210. preset.
Delta 364, when ready, descent flight level 120, report leading.
Roger, we are now descending to flight level 120 for purpose of 364.
Delta 364.
No snow yet, not quite winter. Not quite winter. Not far off though. Another month and a bit. And I reckon there'll be snow on those mountains down there. I know they're pretty flat for mountains compared to other places, but Australian Alps.
Melbourne Centre, Collins 450, now flight level 290. Qantas 460, Melbourne Centre, Roger. Qantas 450. Qantas 450, Melbourne Centre, did you want higher or are you happy with flight level 290? Melbourne Centre, Qantas 450, happy at flight level 290. Roger, 450. 450.
So we've got Delta 354 in front of us, flight level 240, seems a bit low, but he's actually keeping up with me, so maybe he's got no headwind or something, I don't know. We've obviously got this 56 knot quartering headwind, so that's
Delta 354 Melbourne Centre, full sequencing, maintain maximum speed on descent.
Ah, they'll be wanting to slow me down in that case. We do have a Tiger Airways GoCat call sign, GoCat. He's behind us, flight level 360. It's kind of a
no, Delta 354, I need you to maintain maximum. Keep your speed up around 350 knots.
350? Gee.
Sorry, Roger, okay, max speed up to 130 knots, I mean 330 knots.
Delta 354.
Okay, coming up on top of descent, less than 10 miles. 5 miles. Let's run the descent checks. Pressurization, land altitude has been set 450. And the ice not required. Approach brief has been completed. Fuel check has been completed. We'll be landing with 2.5. And our minimum was 1.8, I do believe. IS and speed bugs. Speed bug has been set. We have the reference speed 40 and 131. We are visual approach. There's no real minimums, but
Center, this is Velocity 895. We'll be going through 12,500 feet to 240. Velocity 895. Good evening, on flight level 350.
and we'll
Flight
start
level 350, Velocity 895.
Melbourne Centre, velocity 888, left flight level 400.
Velocity 888.
That's a bad habit of mine. I say left, Left is a direction to that though, or to your webcam that way. I should actually say leaving flight level 400. It's just about that.
Arrival runway 34.
Something I need to concentrate on, try to change. Crossing 888, leaving flight level 400. I'll put a minimums of 640 feet. That should be about roughly 200-250 feet above the runway threshold. Since it's a visual approach, there's no actual minimums. We're having to basically not continue the approach at sheet if we're not visual, and we have to be at 2,500 for that. But 640 might give us a good position to be stabilised by. Actually, it should be 500 feet above, shouldn't it? So it's a 400 and... how high is the threshold here? 330 according to the chart. It's more like 400 according to Flight Sim. Because the runway actually runs uphill. The runway 34 threshold's at the bottom of the hill. But in Flight Sim 10 we don't have a hill. We just have a flat runway. It's about 430 feet. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 900.
Direction 79, when ready, decrease flight level 20 recorded.
So I'll put a 900 foot minimums there. And that's roughly where we want to be stabilised by. And by stabilised we mean on speed, roughly on slope, all configured. Doesn't necessarily mean on the centre line, because we'll probably be still making our way into the centre line.
Yes, 507 Melbourne, g'day, Star Clearance will be the 7 pictures arrival, runway 34.
In the cabin. Cabin crew, prepare the aircraft for arrival. I'll leave that on 5 knots for the moment.
Yes, 524, contact Melbourne 7 now, 125.0, expect start. Good luck.
Up ahead you can see a little bit of a lake. That's Eldon Weir at the southern end of the lake, Lake Eldon. There's also a bonny dune right about the point where the two lakes kind of split off, right in the middle there. That's Bonny Dune. That's the site of a rather famous, infamous, whatever you want to call it, movie called The Castle. That was their holiday home.
He was the only bloke he knew with a holiday home. Not a mobile home, a holiday home. And he reckoned we were the luckiest family in the world.
Dale, I reckon we're the luckiest family in the world.
Yes.
How's the Serenity?
75.
Right, descent checklist been done. Just previewing the approach. We have the altitudes and instruments set. I'll approach aids. Now we don't have any approach aids required. I'll just maybe chuck in 114.1, which is already there, and 347, which is already there. Is it 347? Can't remember the VOR approach, but it's not really relevant anyway. Make it 340, which is actual runway heading. And we'll leave the standby ADI until we do the altimeters. Probably mentioned this in another MilkRun Monday, probably last winter, but Bulla, B-U-L-L-A, that's actually named after a mountain, somewhere in that green mess. It's the most southerly part of the Australian Alps that regularly gets snow. After that you start heading very close to Melbourne. slightly forward our power position, probably near those clouds.
I'm thinking United 840, passing flight level 140.
United 840, number 7, good evening, climb to non-standard flight level 360.
I'm on standard flight level 360, United 840.
9840, that's a 777. Slightly. Yep. Follow with me.
Okay, now what's the evening? It's 3 out of 35 for radio.
175, Melbourne 7 continue flying flight level 380.
Let's get the seatbelt signs on.
Okay, thanks.
And we'll let the cabin crew do that announcement. There we go, a little bit of that bouncing around. Turbulence is starting to pick in.
Melbourne Center star clearance available.
Yeah, go ahead for 175.
175 star clearance Melbourne will be Lucy 7 Victor arrival.
Cabin crew, seats for
runway
arrival.
34.
175, that's a Lizzie.
1,000 foot to go.
Victor for 34.
Delta 354, descent 9000, QNH 1014.
Okay, that's us soon. Lossing 888, maintaining flight level 210.
Velocity 888, descent 9000, QNH 1014.
Down 9000, QNH 1014, velocity 888.
Delta 354, Melbourne Center.
9000 set, 1014 is preset.
Delta 354, descent 9000, QNH 1014. Contact Melbourne, approach now 132.0. Good night.
Roger, down to 9,000 and we'll contact Melbourne approach.
1320. Yes.
Delta 354. Gauge hat 279, decent, flight level 120. This is a flight level 120.
So PFPX thinks it'll be 1 hour and 9 minutes. I reckon we're going to beat PFPX. Get there first. Fuel's about right though. Yep, 2.5 will nail the fuel perfectly. But we'll see, maybe 1 hour and 9 minutes. I reckon 1 hour and 5. Okay, it's approach checklist time. approach checks, altitudes and instrument set cross checked. We have 1014. Approach aids set and checked. No wireless. VOR is set. Standby ADI technically not required. So that's pretty much complete apart from the altimeter, which will complete once we're through 10,000. Shout out to Velocity 895. Bryce Walkerton has just Facebook messaged me, and he's passed us on the northbound going towards Sydney. We're at Tarex. He's probably, what says he's over Strathbogie or near there. Turbulence is getting a bit annoying, isn't it? Bouncing us around.
Velocity 888. Sorry, break. My mistake. Cancel that.
Disregard. Imagine if I had a full motion sim here, bouncing all around like that.
Go test 379, V39,000.
Slightly above profile.
679,000.
Does seem to be recovering a little bit.
Velocity 888, contact Melbourne approach now, 132.0.
Over 132.0, velocity 888, yeah. 132.0 set. There you have it. Melbourne approach, velocity 888, descending to 9,000 out of flight level 122 with Quebec.
Velocity 888, good evening. Descent to 5,000 runway 34.
And a 5,000 runway 34, velocity 888. 5,000 is set.
Delta 350, we can start reducing your speed now to your desired profile.
Roger, reducing speed now. Thank you very much. Shut up,
Velocity 888, if you can reduce to not above 230 knots on the set.
230 knots on the set, velocity 888. I have speed brake out. Let's intervene.
Melbourne approach, just 949, it's passing 1,700 for 5,000.
Just 949. Approach is good, just fine. 60 front level 240.
Flight level 240, just 949.
Just over that way.
Cover 7432, contact Melbourne Center 165 Decimal 2.
152, 7432, thank you very much.
There's Portville Bay.
Compass 7003, turn left heading 180 degrees.
And Sugarloaf, I reckon.
Left heading 180, Compass 70.
Just off the left windscreen there.
Velocity 888, thanks very much for your help on the speed there. And you can actually cancel those speed restrictions and resume profile speed.
Cancel speed and resume profile, velocity 888.
Delta 364, heavy speed coming back now, that's fine. And you can expect a 5-mile final runway 34. Descends now to 2,000 feet.
It's already below 9,000, I don't need to do anything with it at all. Let's go across, barometer 1014 set, and that makes the approach checklist complete. Next is landing.
Cancel speed, just 949.
Compass 7003, direct to Cow, that's the same route.
Direct to Cow, same route for the 70.
Compass 7003, thanks very much for your comment. I think to get you out of the way for inbound correction outbound check.
Okay.
Delta 354, turn right heading 250 degrees. The airfield in your 3 o'clock at 15 miles. You got a good start?
Delta right to 250 and move before airfield.
Delta 354, thanks very much. Is that you visual at the moment?
That is correct. We're coming in for a visual on Preflight.
Delta 354, thanks, yes, but I was asking, are you visual at the moment? Are you in visual conditions?
And right here. Yes, we have a visual on the airfield.
Delta 354, you cleared the visual approach runway 34 from sheet and at 2000 contact Melbourne Tower 125.
Condition levers continuous. That's not condition levers, that's ignition. I've been flying too much dash 8.
Delta
Ignition set
354,
continuous.
cleared for the visual approach runway 34, and when you're established on the approach, contact Melbourne Tower 120.52.
1205 is the next frequency.
Roger, we'll wait for the approach on runway 34. We'll contact departure once the
And we'll do that contact overhead shade if we can.
Delta 354, there's no localizer on runway 34. It's a visual approach only, and you need to contact the tower 120.5 when you're established.
Alright, Roger, that was very difficult.
I want to approach Takeoff to the line with you on the fence like that.
It's a challenging approach, especially in this kind of gusty condition. You just have to be on top of it, and we'll be on the full manual because the auto throttle won't handle this. It's already 10 knots above.
Approach today, United 843 on 10 on the down,
United 843, approach runway 34, good evening, 77,000.
Near it, pushing up the throttle and bringing it back, just has no idea what it's doing.
Just 491 you with me?
It's constantly moving.
Just 491 Melbourne, sir. Correction Melbourne departures.
It's about moderate turbulence. Might get worse below 5,000.
Just 949, contact officer 125.002.
1,000 to go.
125.0, good night.
Once it gets to Monty, we'll be on to the acceleration phase, and then we're going to deploy some flaps. Maintaining flaps up at the moment.
Just 941 with us.
Just report on one review, apologies.
Just 941, no worries.
So we're for that big black area to re-texture itself. There we go. So Melbourne Sydney.
Delta 354, you're flying through the drill out runway 34. Make an immediate right hand turn 340 degrees.
Please say again for difficult 491.
That's not for just for 491, that's for Delta 354. Just 491, the instruction is closed to flight level 240, cancel speed below 10 down.
5,000, we need to slow down a bit and go down. Urban approach, velocity 888, 5000.
Velocity 888, continue descent to 3000.
Down 3000, velocity 888. 3000, so.
Velocity 888, the airfield is in your 330 at 30 miles. Go to the side.
Velocity 888 is visual.
Velocity 888, 2,500 visual from sheet to the visual approach runway 34. And just be aware we've got an aircraft overshooting the cell on runway 34 at this stage.
Flaps 1.
Engine zone. I'll keep you posted on that one.
Copy the traffic, and we're cleared down to 2,500, visual approach runway 34, velocity 888.
Where's number 615, we're airborne climbing to 5,000, passing 4,200.
Brakes on again. I'll get heading window set 240.
Station calling Melbourne approach, sorry, take it.
Missed procedure has climbed to 3,000.
Road cover 615, we are climbing to 5,000 and now maintaining.
Flap
Cover
5.
615, thanks, just dealing with inherent
And flap 5 speed 1.
Identify 615.210 and take up a radar heading at 265 degrees at the moment.
Climb the flight level 210, staying in the heading 265, we're just past
Brakes off, brake is armed.
Yeah, Compass 615, I didn't catch you early enough. Compass 615, maintain speed at this stage, we'll be back in 2 seconds.
Okay, top of the turbulence speed is about 180. Let's go flat 15.
615, okay.
Velocity 888, so just confirming clearly visual approach runway 34.
Visual approach 34, velocity 888. White dot speed. Need flat 25. Go marker for Essendon.
279, continue to descend to 3000.
Flat 25 speed.
Plus
5.
to 3,000 and we're visual.
145,
Okay,
sir.
279, thanks. Continue to descend to 2,500 visual runway.
141. Flat 40, 141 speed.
United 843, continue to descend to 5,000.
5,043.
Just constant bouncing around, it's making me ill. Just checking. Landing lights on. Okay.
Delta 354, there's a very
Landing
busy
checklist.
sequence coming into Melbourne at this stage. You're going to have to take an Avalon that holds you at
Starting,
Avalon.
engine start
Take
switch is
up a radar
continuous,
video,
speed brake is
climb
armed. Landing gear is down, 3 green, flaps set 40 green.
9,
Landing
4
checklist
degrees,
complete, waiting on
direct
landing
to Avalon,
checklist.
hold at Avalon at 6,000 feet.
Hopefully we get to talk to tower soon.
Sorry, was that the Avalon?
Let's do it now.
AFM direct to Avalon, hold at Avalon at 6,000
Not
feet.
quite yet. But before I turn off this autopilot, we'll need to be on tower. Look at that speed bouncing around.
You're approach that Qantas 492, climbing to 4,105 now.
Qantas 492, departures identified, continue climb to flight level 240.
Nope.
Climb
It's time to go over.
240, Qantas 492.
Unless the next frequencies are changed.
Velocity
There it
888 at correction setting finals runway 34, contact Melbourne Tower 120.5.
Contact Intel 1205 now. Velocity 888. Under no uncertain terms. Doing it now. All parts off. Throttles are mine. We need to descend fast. There we go. About 1,000 feet a minute. Melbourne Tower, velocity 888, final runway 34.
Velocity 888 and Melbourne Tower. Report final, please.
Velocity 888, so turning final now.
Velocity 888, number 350 degrees to 8 knots, gusting to 38, runway 34, clear to land.
Runway 34, clear to land, Bossy 888. We've only got 3 miles out. Why are you holding us till we're on the centre line? Because we'll be about 1 mile out by the centre line. Need more speed. Where's that wind coming from? Almost down the runway. Overshot it though. Is that an aircraft holding short? On the second taxiway in. Both of them. Okay, stable. Stable minus 5 knots. Landing. Okay, I'm off the flight director, I'm on the Pappy. Just need to keep that speed under some semblance of control. Is that Yolani dreaming? Look at that. Second taxiway in.
100. 50.
Nah.
30.
Just trying to be a slammer. In the ground effect, there we go. That wasn't bad. Bit of a float, but I thought we were going to slam it in then, but yeah, kind of worked out. Reverses off. 60 knots, manual braking. And we have 24 knots on ground speed with the 60 knot call. 20 knots, so we have 50 knots on the airspeed. So we stopped well and truly earlier than I expected to. No need to rev up. 26 knots, ground speed.
Go cat 279 with U-turn miles on a 3 call.
Cool.
Go cat 279, g'day. Runway 34, calls in your approach.
Correct call.
Velocity 888, roll through the box, truck, contact the ground now, 121.7, g'day.
One's 1.7 ground, velocity 888, yeah.
Now, comfortable 90 with you, fully ready, Juliet holding point 100.
Call us 490 and just Qantas 228, there's just going to be a short delay over a couple of the aircraft as well.
That's not a problem, happy to reach takeoff, 149.
I'm 490G. Cat 279, the wind 350 degrees, 28 knots, gusting to 38, runway 34, clear to land.
Copy the wind. They're a beauty. Clear to land on a 3 call.
I need to roll up. Let's go 1217. Go. Echo off Golf.
123, Sydney and Delta plane, route flying off my thousand.
Taxiways, that's Victor.
Scorpio 307 dash departure to be regional approach 132 dash 10.
Come to a stop there. That better not be the ground. I can't hear that. Neither can anyone else.
OT 123.
On the ground, Bossy 888 is holding short of Foxtrot on the intersection of Tango and Victor. We're looking for domestic off Pier Echo off Golf.
Velocity 888 from Melbourne, taxi via Foxtrot and Echo to the bay of your choice.
It's checking Foxtrot. We're expecting either Alpha or Victor, not sure which one.
Sorry, Velocity 888, taxi via Foxtrot and Alpha.
Go with that, Foxtrot, then Alpha, southbound on Alpha, velocity 888. Train off. Let's get rid of the transponder. That's all done. Flight director coming off. APU is running. We can get rid of the landing lights. Taxi lights on and strobes on steady, the logo's on. Clock coming off.
I was just wondering whether that was you requesting out an action clearance. Lucky for anyone else, do you like have Juliet or
That's quite fun to see that. Look at that. Yeah. Don't see that every day.
Lucky for
Ground Coco 23,
Good look at where I'm going,
taxi to the
next
Golf
one.
1.
Okay. 279 welcome to Melbourne.
Go going around. That is Tiger, isn't it? Yeah. Now I've flown on Tiger a few times. I don't know how many anymore. Lost count. But up until about 2010 or so, I'd never flown with Tiger before. And I'd also only ever had like one or two ever go-arounds. In the time that I've flown Tiger, 3 of the times I've had a go-around. And a couple of times it's just weather. It's quite fun. They're my go-around airline. So it's quite fun to watch them go around just there. And Yolani's off probably to Sydney. Quite a lot of fun little liveries flying around today. There's the Red Virgins, which need to update their FSinn to be VOZ as an airline instead of whatever they're on. What are they? TYR thought they would be. So if you're flying Velocity call sign and you use FSinn,
okay. 279.
use don't use TYR as your airline ICAO code. It's meant to be VOZ. Anyway, pulling into the gate, we need gate 6. Echo 6. Which I think I can see not too far up ahead. That's 10, that'll be 8, and the 6 is the third rod along. Okay, taxi light can come off. There's Echo 8. And Echo 6.
Lucky for...
Time is 12, we have 3 minutes and then we're on time. Which means that we're pretty much on time. Guess some of that was sitting around waiting for that other aircraft to clear out in front of us on Foxtrot.
What do you want to clear?
2 knots. Two greens. bars in sight.
Aircraft 279.
It's in the green.
Continue taxi 787.
3 greens. The seat forward a touch. There we are, green line and the red. There we are. Parking brake is on. Okay, view can go on the bus. And view on the bleed. Engine number 2. Now we'll just start 1 shutdown. I'm going to flick over to inactive frequency. Engine number 2 shutdown. Let's get back in the seat. Goodo. So I'm happy with that. Let's go to boarding. AP on the gen. Your dampener is off. Cut the hydraulics. Cut the fuel pumps. And they're asking for the door. And I'll give the command. Cabin crew, disarm doors. Cross check. Cargo doors open, and we'll stop the clock. 1 hour and 34 minutes. Actually 4 minutes longer than expected. Rear stairs are in place. Front's already going. Time is 1:05. We're exactly on time. To the minute. Means I'm glad that we departed 3 minutes early. Cool. So I'll cut the rest of these. Right then, so that's a successful MilkRun Monday from Sydney to Melbourne. Hope you've enjoyed the flight. I certainly did. I also did manage to enjoy that visual approach, even though I did overshoot slightly this time. A lot of that gusting wind, pretty hard maintaining the speed, although I did let it get away with me a couple of times there. You saw the speed drop below the Vref, which wasn't great, but yeah, we did recover it with a bit of power. Certainly a very windy day here in Melbourne. As I live in Melbourne, I know all about that. Currently showing 360 degrees at 26 knots, gusting up to 36 knots. So there's a 10 knot difference in the top speed there, 36 knots. Yeah, it's bouncing around quite a lot. You could see that in ActiveSky's presentation of what it was doing to our aeroplane as we were coming down on the descent. And here, we're here safely in Melbourne, and we did manage to see some special paint schemes as we were coming in. That was quite a treat. I didn't expect to see that at all. That was a Qantas aircraft that had a different ICAO code in their call sign. Let's see. In FSinn in-plane you can select Advanced and go to PLA. That's off the control panel, of course. So control panel, click Advanced. The very top left is PLA. That'll open up a window. From that window you can change your own aircraft by pressing ICAO Custom, and once that pops up it'll give you a, no, it's not that one, it's config. So when you press config you'll see a button at the bottom right hand side which says edit current used airplane, and you can change the details of your own aircraft in there. Currently I have B738 because I'm Boeing 737-800. The airline, or A-line as it shows up, A-L-I-N-E, ICAO code is VOZ for velocity. That guy over there with the red aircraft has for some reason put in TYR, Tango Yankee Romeo. Over there we have the Delta Airlines aircraft that was in front of us that missed the runway the first time round and ended up holding at Avalon. Looks like he's probably going to miss the high speed turnoff as well, but that's alright. You can always vacate on Echo. I'll just grab that guy, might as well shout him out. Hi there to Harry Green. Oh, he's vacated on the wrong. You'd never do more than a 90-degree turn off the runway when you have the most perfect easy turn. See that? He's vacated, he's come along here where my mouse is, and then he's done this massive turn in there instead of going straight ahead like most normal people would, as I did. So you vacate on the high-speed taxiway, you don't do a oblique turn of more than 90 degrees. 90 degrees is out there. That's more like 120, 140 degrees. 145. So yeah, always vacate on the straight. And if you miss the straight, like I was considering, even though we ended up stopping about here because of the headwind, but if you do miss that, because for instance if you landed long or whatever, then you can just make the next one. Then you just backtrack, well, on the taxiway. Taxi back down here. Anyway, might as well talk about Melbourne's terminals as well. We have here, right there, the Virgin Australia terminal. Up here we have the international terminal. Any airline that's an international airline going overseas, even Qantas 737s going to New Zealand. Up here we have the Qantas terminal for domestic Qantas, and up there we have the Jetstar terminal, and the Qantas Link as well uses some of that terminal. I think they use the inner part mostly. So those two gates with the actual gates, and those bits there. Jetstar use some of these gates without any jet bridge, and they also use one gate with a jet bridge. And I think the Qantas Link sometimes puts their 737s onto that last pier there. Down here we have Tiger with that red aeroplane, which has got the wrong ICAO code, so it's turned up red instead of yellow, and it's turned up as a MD-11 or MD-80 aircraft instead of an Airbus, but that's because of inconfigurations on the player's side, not on my side, but on the player's side. So that guy who was flying the Tiger Airways flight, sitting there at Melbourne at the moment, correct terminal, that's great. Not the correct ICAO code for your aircraft type in FSinn. You have in fact entered nothing. So it's come up as a blank, and the blank basically means that I have to figure out how to show your airplane, and I've default made them all red MD-80s. Don't ask me why, I don't think I really have a choice on that. Maybe I'll change that to some other aircraft at some other point. That things that don't have a name will become a something or other. Anyway, here we have Harry Green popping into terminal, this is a Velocity terminal, Virgin Australia terminal, at gate number 10. Aligned pretty well. I'm not sure if he's got the Orbx scenery or if it's at default, but it looks like it's just about in line if he keeps moving forward. And I hope he keeps moving forward, because he's currently blocking up a taxiway. Might be default scenery, not sure. Even worse, might be FS9 default scenery. More red 737s taking off. Current time's about 9:20 PM. Tomorrow's a work day. So at this stage I might be heading off. If I did do a return flight, I'd get in by 10:30 PM, which is curfew. And I haven't done any preparation, so I'll probably dump that idea. Let's have a look at what's happening on the serve info just before I go. Yeah, it's clearing out. Most of the people going northbound are pretty close to Sydney, and people going southbound are pretty close to Melbourne. Not much happening in the middle, so I reckon flying's cooling down, although we are getting quite a few departures still, to be honest. You know, I pushed out on blocked by the Delta though, so that's a downer. Velocity Virgin Australia sometimes uses those two gates on the other side and the other two on the other side as well. And it's always annoying because that's gate number 10 right there. So you walk in from, and I'm sure most people that have ever been to Melbourne Airport have done this once or twice. You come down here and look at your gate and you go, oh, I'm in gate number 11. Let's walk down here past gate 10. There is no past gate 10. Gate 10's the end. Then you have to walk all the way back in and outside the control area of the airport. Walk all the way through that section, which is pretty much dead, and then you have to get checked back into security before you can get to gate 11, which is that one right there. And that's always a pain. Lots of walking from gate 10 to gate 11. So gate 10's right here. And to get from gate 10 to gate 11, you don't go up one, you go down there, past gate 8 and gate 6 and gate 4 and gate 2 and the security, and then past all of these areas here. There's a couple of shops, but then the rest of this area is just nothing. And then there's another security thing that if you go past, and then there's gate 11 and gate 13. Not to mention the little cargo shed that they put you off if you're on Tiger. Speaking of Tiger, let's see if I can move that airplane off to an Airbus, because I know I can do that. It's a bit annoying because I have to do it every time another one pops up, or if he logs off and comes back and hasn't changed his aircraft to a A320 and has left it on a nothing, then I'd have to do this a second time. But what I do here is, let's see, I open up control panel, go to advanced mode, go to plane, PLA, at the very top left. You'll see MP plane. Select the aircraft that you want to change the aircraft of, in this case Tiger 279. And down the bottom right hand corner of that window you'll see ... user select. Click on the 3 dots, or the blue area, and then you'll see on the very top the aircraft manufacturer. And in my case I'm looking for the MT Airbus, which is MyTrafficX Airbus. I'll select A320. I'm going to type the letter T so that I go halfway down the alphabet. Find Tiger Airways, click apply, and pop, there he goes. He's turned into an A320 with the right livery and all, everything. So there you go. And I can, of course, select a randomly different livery if I want to. There we go. Awesome. United Airlines. I'll put him back as Tiger because he should be. So there's a Tiger sitting in the correct Tiger position, facing inbound. And there's the Tiger Airways monolith, as you might want to call it. That big orange thing over there with the word Airways. Anyway, it's been an enjoyable flight, even if we did have a bit of a rough, turbulent landing. Landing itself was alright, a bit of a float, but the touchdown itself was quite soft. I did overshoot, and I did lose speed on the turn, so that's something I need to practice, flying in turbulence. So I'm a little out of practice for that. I think we'll just watch this last one aircraft land. I can see one just on the horizon there, popping in. Oh, a very nicely established approach, and then after that we'll log out and call it a night. So once again, thanks for flying with me on this MilkRun Monday, Musical Aviator, on the day after Easter Sunday. Wishing you guys happy Easter. Have a nice day.